Alright, so this is day 2 of my journey video. Um, Today was another amazing day. I woke up in good spirits again. Started my day off by putting my hand over my heart and just feeling the energy flow through me. Um, Good way to start the morning. Kind of let the thoughts roam through my head. First thing in the morning, there's not a lot going on, but there's enough. I got an active brain. As soon as I wake up, it's time to go. I don't really have a too much of a waking up period. I'm up and I'm at 'em. So um, that's usually how my day starts out. So yeah. Anyways, once I get done with kind of waking up and going over what my game plan is for the day, um, I get up and still in the process of trying to kick the smoking. Um, I've gone from about a pack and a half to a day to, let's see, I'm down to about 10 today. I was at about 4 at about, I don't know, 4 o'clock, but um, my daughter came home and the house was just chaotic. And regardless of where I go from here, they're all excuses. I had pretty good willpower as far as fighting it today. It's getting better, down to about 10 today. I had 17 yesterday, so slowly declining. Getting that mental aspect out of the way. The physical withdrawals don't seem to be affecting me as much, which is odd. I've tried to quit before, and it's always been a physical, start to twitch, gotta have my cigarette kind of thing. But I'm not finding it so much this time, which is kind of strange and awesome all at the same time. So it's making it better. I'm just fighting the mental aspect of the habit of smoking. I've been doing it for 22 years. It's terrible, but it's a fact. So, anyways, fighting that today. Getting better at it. Uh, Worked on a little project of mine that I've been working on. It's been kind of like I don't want to say rehab, but it's a good place for me to go and kind of reflect upon everything that's happening right now with me and my journey, and just trying to get a grip on all of this. I mean, it's so much to take in, and it's such a change that it takes a minute to kind of, I don't know, take it all in. And I'm just trying to make it a thing where I don't think about it. It just is. So trying not to think about it at the same time that I'm thinking about it. It's kind of funny, but that's I guess that's where I'm at with it. It's becoming easier every day, I think. I'm finding myself a lot more aware of how I react in every situation in my life, which is always, now that I kind of stand back a little bit more, realize it's a lot of negative, man. Just negative about everything was kind of my mindset per se. I mean, I was still kind of positive about things, but still had kind of a negative undertone to everything. So I'm glad to see that changing around. Just with driving, mad road rage. People, get out of my way. I got to go. I gotta get there. I gotta get there. I've kind of taken that out of the equation, which has made traffic so much more manageable. I haven't been taking my cigarettes with me when I've been doing it, so that's like 2 things I've really gotten a pretty good hold on, which is huge in my book. Not freaking out in traffic and being a lot more patient. Um, just trying to look at every single person as they're on their journey, and you know, regardless of whether their intent is to try to hurt me or to not hurt me or whatever. All I can do is try to influence them with positive vibes and a positive attitude, and that's kind of my reflection on it now. I haven't really gotten into a situation where I didn't feel like that wasn't a manageable situation by having that outlook on it. So so far so good as far as that's concerned. But so today I approached a situation that I've been dealing with for a while. Me and my stepdad. Well, he's my dad. Um, all said and done, he came into my life about the age of 12, 11, 12, and from that point on, he's been basically the only man that's been there taking care of me. Um, taught me things. And, along that path, we've had many differences. There's a lot of things that that I've picked up from him. His work ethic, his pride, um, his attention to detail. Um, he does have a big heart. I mean, he married my mom with three uh, unruly children, to say the least. Um, and he's done a lot for me. But there's been a lot of things that as I've grown up that we've grown apart on, and unfortunately, money came between us, and it separated us for, I don't know, it's probably been 4 months since we spoke, and I wasn't gonna ever call him again unless he was the one to call me and apologize for things that were said. But upon much reflection and upon going down this path and this journey, I've decided that that was something that I needed closure with. That was some baggage, some negative baggage that I had to shed, and a very valuable relationship to me as well. So with that being said, I went out there today, and I didn't get totally in depth with what my journey is about and how all of my journey ties with everything. I mean, I got into it, as far as my heart is concerned, and how I'm deciding to look at every situation, and the fact that you have a choice to either make it a positive thing or a negative thing, and I'm choosing to make everything a positive thing. And even if it is a negative, say, situation, I'm choosing to make it a positive situation. I'm trying, trying is a bad word. I am finding the good out of the situations and rolling with that. I'm latching onto the positive things and acknowledging the fact that there's some negative things involved there. I am aware of them. I'm seeing them, and then I'm letting them go. Um, and that's pretty much how I'm trying to approach every situation that I come across, no matter how little it is. So that conversation that we had today, it was great. We talked about things that I never knew bothered my dad, which, he opened up to me, which, it just keeps unfolding for me along this journey as far as the things that are revealing themselves to me. There's just so many things that are happening. Like my daughter, her older sister just came out of nowhere yesterday and appeared in her life, and amazing. It's something that I've been meditating on, and really trying to feel that power from my heart for guidance as far as what to do, because she's been screaming for someone to talk to, as far as someone outside of a parental person. And not to mention it's her sister that's been out of her life for 8 years, and I know that she's been looking for her, and I know that they've been looking for each other. So it's just amazing that she just happened to come out of nowhere, and they ended up meeting up yesterday. And her sister's been down some rough roads, had some rough things happen in her life, but she's 20 now and growing up, and I haven't personally gotten to know her, but from what I know so far, so I think that she's going to be a very I think this is where I was at. I think she's going to be a very positive influence on Jaden. She's kind of gone down the same path that my daughter has gone down. She's made some, you know, not so good choices, but she's back here now and heading down the right path. She's got a lot of people around her that love her, and her dad, who's on his journey. Um, you know, I'm slowly trying to implement, you know, a lot of the things that I'm learning with my teaching with her now. You know, and this is kind of a part of why I started this journey was my kids and my wife was, you know, I've had this nagging feeling in my heart and my soul, really, that I needed to do something different. I needed to be something different. I was making selfish choices in my life, drinking probably a little too much. Um, which, you know, drinking isn't a bad thing, but, you know, when it comes to the point where it's taken away from you spending time with your family, which is so valuable, um, there's not a price that you can put on that. And, you know, funny enough, I started a business so that I could afford to not always have to work, be tied down to a 9 to 5 job, following someone else's schedule, um, so that I can be home to be with my kids. And, you know, I found myself in that kind of repetitive cycle of stressing out because of the business and all the work that's involved in it. And, you know, the only way that I could really shut my brain down was to come home and have a few cocktails and smoke a bowl, and just basically numb myself. You know, obviously, standing here, I've realized that, you know, and not that I didn't know it before, that, you know, you wake up the next morning, the problems still persist. You know, it doesn't change anything. You just feel like crap and still have to deal with the same situation. So, um, you know, standing here in this position, now that I've stopped smoking pot, stopped drinking, um, you know, it's easy to sit here and say, well, duh, it's pretty obvious that, you know, those were not helping the situation, you know, but you just get so stuck in this repetitive cycle as far as masking it, waking up the next day, and doing it all over again. And, you know, I finally broke out of that cycle. I'm becoming aware of what it is that needs to change and what needs to happen. So, um, I guess I'll probably leave this video here. I could just keep going and going and going. I could talk for hours and hours and hours, but I guess the key thing today is that, you know, again, I'm continuing to work on my core, to release the negative baggage that I've held on to for so long, and even some of the fresher ones, the ones that have happened more recently. You know, with family, with customers of mine, or just people in general, and just continuing to work on letting those things go. And, you know, the more that I let those go, the clearer things become for me, the easier it is for me to access my heart space and feel that vibration and keep my vibration level up, because I don't have so much stuff holding it down. I mean, it's so obvious, you know, it's so obvious that that's what you need to do, but doing it and maybe having somebody just point it out to you, stop you for a second while you're in that repetitive motion of every day, getting up, going to work, taking care of the kids, you know, just automatic cycle, until you have someone stop you and say, hey, stop for a second, just give me a minute. Have you thought about, you know, getting rid of some of the baggage that you're carrying around? I bet you could run faster. I bet you could do whatever it is you're doing faster. Um, and having someone maybe take that minute to actually stop and listen and say, you know what, you're right. That, why didn't I think of that before? You know, kind of the same thing that happened to me. When I heard that, you know, your life is, you know, what is happening in your life is a direct reflection upon what's happening within you. So if your life is chaos and there's a lot of negativity, a lot of negative things happening in your life, then maybe you need to look within yourself. Maybe you have a lot of chaos within, and you have, you know, a lot of anger. Um, and that will, you know, be pretty obvious when you take a stand back and look around. You know, if you're full of, surrounded with love and peace, um, then odds are, you know, you're full of love and peace. So be aware and remember that, you know, what's happening around you is a direct reflection upon what's happening within you. So powerful words, powerful messages. Anyways, I love you. Have a good night. Thanks for listening.